Okay, so I'm gonna pop this computer out of here real quick. Somebody already didn't put the bottom screw back in, so that makes it easier. There's one back here. Let's just do this. Show you guys how easy this is. You probably already know this part. You gotta do this part whether the engine's in or out, but you're gonna be amazed at how much easier it is to do without the engine in. I can't even imagine doing this with the engine in. Alright, there we go. So, computer should have done it. There we go. Okay. I'll just take this. Oops. Cover. Oh, come on. Alright, I guess that's not it yet. I don't have to pull the cover down. Alright. I think you have to pull the guard to make it easier to fit through the hole. Don't quote me on that, I may put it back on. But that was pretty easy. Alright, that's all wrapped up. It's just going to slip right through the hole. Okay, just to go over this real quick. I had to pull the harness off the mass airflow sensor, fit it back through this hole right here. There is a ground wire that the wiring harness attaches, or a ground bolt that the wiring harness attaches to right here. And then it also feeds through this little harness holder up behind this big chunk of wires and then back around to these two guys right here. So those are out. Here's my harness. Here's all that stuff. The PTU portion. Here's the part that went up behind, over here, behind the fuse box. So all this is just sitting there hanging. And here's some more. That goes to the rear of the engine. So it's ready to go. So just wanted to make a note of all that. Okay, I'm gonna start pulling holders. This holder right here. Alright, we got that guy sitting on here. We got this one here. Alright, got that one. Alright. Pop this one off. See, I don't even know if you can get to this crap with the engine in the bay. Am I missing one? Oops, missed one. There's 4 of those bad boys. I'll get them. I got my kids playing water balloon outside. That's where all that racket is figured. Alright. That plate's out. Looks like it sits underneath this plate right here, so I'll get it too. Alright, so we got this plate out. There's that one. And this one's underneath it. And we go with those guys. So we'll have to feed it behind. Oh, I got this one right here. Putting that one in. Alright. And with that, I think I'm pretty much ready to pull this bad boy out. Oh wait, I got one more back there. Let's see if I can get to it. Ah, we'll get it. Pull that thing out inside. And this is gonna take like 15 minutes. Pop his boot off. There's the boot off. Okay, I'm cutting it. Too easy to cut it. This harness is shot anyway, there's no reason not to. So we'll just do it the easy way. I don't think there's anything up in there still attached, but I'm not messing with it. Let's just do it the easy way. Alright, now let's see how long it takes me to pull it back through the other side here. So tight. Let's see how long it takes. You can hear me. Pull it through, hopefully. Out. And it was attached to something else, so I was screwed. This part here was hanging up. I didn't see it, so you gotta be careful about this part here. Anyway, it's out. That didn't take long. Alright, now we'll get to putting the new one back in. I guess you can watch me do this part. We'll pull it through behind this brake lines here. See, how would you even do this with the engine in, dude? There's just no way. Okay, monster of a harness is out. I feel like I just killed a big ass fish or something. Alright, man, done. Alright, I was gonna show you real quick before I try to put this thing in that I wrapped up the connectors as close to the harness as I could get them with electrical tape. And when I get them in the car, I'll pull it off, but hopefully that'll help me get it in a little easier. And I'll also put, I'm going to put silicone all on this part of the harness to help it slip in. So that's just something maybe help a little bit, maybe not, but it won't hurt it. So okay, first things first, gotta feed it back underneath these brake lines. So don't forget to do that or you'll be hating life. Again, I don't know how you would even do this with the engine in place. I can't even imagine what a pain in the ass that would be. Let's get up in here. And feed this crap through. This should do it. What all this foam is in here about? I don't remember this being in my other car. I'm gonna pull some of that out. It's kind of ridiculous. It's almost like somebody put that crap in there. Interesting. I don't think I need that. This couldn't hurt, right? See if I can even get it around. I ain't even putting that in there. You gotta be kidding me. Anyway, alright, we'll leave that out. Okay, so I had a nasty little surprise for me. I've pulled a harness before, but it was on my 91 NA, and man, it went really easy. I was able to pull the old harness out through the hole, and I put the new harness in through the hole, and I didn't have any trouble. So when I get to this thing here, I can't get the harness in or out, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so I don't know why, but apparently on my 91, somebody had pulled this plate, and this plate sits up behind here, obviously inside, and if this plate's in the way, you're not getting that harness in or out. You can get it out with cutting it, but you're not getting a new one in. So you got to take this harness out, or this plate out. So that's the bitch is getting this plate out. At least when your engine's out, the bitch is getting this plate out. And I saw a couple of videos where one guy said they cut it all up and pried it and blah 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 and got it out, and another guy got it out from inside. I don't know how he got it, but I'm gonna show you what I did. I took a Dremel tool with the little cutter wheels on it, and I made two cuts. I made one cut because you can get to this thing from right here. You can't get all the way down to the bottom of it, but I didn't need to. Okay, when it's in place, you can reach over and put your finger on the nut. All right, actually, there's a spacer still there. I may just leave the spacer there. No, one of them will pull it out. Okay, anyway, so you can touch the nut, touch my nuts, with the plate in place, but you can't get to it with a wrench or anything because it's over on the back side of this. So I took a Dremel tool and I cut down this side, and I was able to get some pliers up in there and bend this back. And then I took another. I still couldn't get my end wrench over it. I have like a ratcheting end wrench. Okay, but I still couldn't get it over the nut because this part right here was in the way. So I took the Dremel tool again. I made another cut right here, and then I folded this tab that I made down. And at that point, I was able to get my end wrench over the nut, and I just sat there, and it's obviously a bendable ratcheting end wrench. And I sat there and I backed the nut all the way off. Once I did that, I was able to push the plate on out. So the bottom nut you can actually get to from inside with a couple. I used a 1/4-inch drive with with probably that long of an extension and a 10mm swivel head socket. Okay, and I could get to that nut, which you don't have to take all the way off because obviously it's just notched. Okay, so once I had this nut off and I had this nut loosened, I just took a screwdriver from right here, and I was totally able to pry this thing down a little bit to where I could go inside the car, reach up, and pull it out. So that actually, after the cutting probably took 5 minutes, and the pushing it down probably took 5 minutes. So it probably didn't take me 10 minutes to get this plate out. And I'm not putting it back in there because why would I? There's nothing sharp up in here, anything like that. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so that's my simple method for getting this stupid plate out. And hopefully you'll have as much of an easy time as I did. Okay, so let's see now how long it takes me to get this harness in. Now that that stupid plate's out of the way. Man, that was a dirty trick. Somebody hooked me up on my 91. Again, I don't even know why, because they didn't change the harness. The harness was a piece of crap. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that just slid right down in there so nicely. Alright, let's see what else we get here. Now this part, I may have to pull my little pieces out here that I taped up. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But so far so good. I'm gonna go get some help maybe. But you can see it's going in a hell of a lot better. Alright, I'll go inside the car, pull down on it for a minute. I may wait and go get an assistant. Help me do this. We'll see if I can do it by myself. Alright, got that much in. Let's see what else we can do here. See how nice it is to be able to get in and out of your car engine bay. Just makes it so nice and easy. Ooh, it's just going right in. Holy crap. Come on, I'm not gonna speak too soon. Alright, I'm gonna go back inside and pull down on it now. I can't imagine doing this with the engine in it. I just really can't. This guy's been a big pain in the ass over, man. Alright, man. That thing's basically in. I think it's pretty much in. One last little section here. What'd that take, like 3 minutes? Damn, dude, I'm done. That's that. Put this seal in place. Maybe. Bam! Harness is in. Woo! Baby! Alright. Like it. That's good stuff. Alright, man. And that's that. Just